Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of the it all runs together to the ACR 2023 Convergence, the biggest rheumatology research conference of the year. It's not all, but it is about research, but it's interesting because like I went to a session today that was about how doctors can work with patients by communicating and shared decision making, and so those are kind of things that are talked about here as well. It's not all about research, and so I definitely would love to talk to some of you more about some of the things, how you speak with your doctor, how well they listen or don't listen. Those are things that they try to teach while here, so that's really important, and things that we were taking away as far as recommending that doctors always ask what your goals are and your expectations are, and these are being put into recommendations for in-office visits. That's really important, and things that are obviously not really associated with research. And there's Deb here, I've got her in the corner. And then I also pulled up, except for it's dying, I pulled up my website because we're also trying to pull up, we have online access to this because I personally, all day today, have been in meetings. I have not gone to one session. I'm gonna go to my first one here in about 15 minutes, but scroll around here so you can kind of get a picture, a feel of what it's like to stand here in the hall. So I heard some feedback that was appreciated. We've got a bunch of conference rooms, but the conference center, that's San Diego, the conference center stretches way, you go down those escalators, it goes all the way back. There's another all the way that way with another escalator and a third escalator. This place is huge. So in saying that, I am gonna go into a poster session for rheumatoid arthritis, I think is what I'm gonna do. It wasn't the one on my original schedule, but my feet hurt and it's right there. So that's how I'm picking my last session. And saying that, I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on my day-to-day as far as the meetings, because that's a big part of us when we go to these conferences, that we want to bring a part back to you. And what this is, we meet with some pharmaceutical companies, some non-pharmaceutical companies, and we try to figure out we listen to some of the things they have in the pipeline, what types of diseases they're focusing on, different innovative therapies, that type of thing, and then they listen to what we're doing, and then they figure out where the synergies are, and that's how we get funding for grants. And of course we need donations too, but for project specific, we pitched this Go With Us project, and many of them were just so excited and thought this was like the coolest thing that we could possibly be putting on. And so these were really important meetings. We learned a lot about new companies, new pharmaceutical companies that are coming out to start working in lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren's. There's a lot on Sjogren's syndrome, so it tends to go in waves on what some of the focus diseases are. And then of course there's always a lot in rheumatoid arthritis. I want you all to know that as we report back, I don't want you to feel like, man, they didn't get to a lot of stuff because they were at these meetings, because we have access to these sessions online. So we're going to be going home. This is going to continue. So we're still going to be reporting back. I just want you to be assured of that. Deb, what are some of the things? I know you're going to give a full debrief, but just what are some of the things?
So today alone, I spent a lot of time in cardiovascular type sessions, being a comorbidity of our diseases. So the first session was called Navigating Our Cardiovascular Risk for Inflammatory Arthritis, a View from Cardiology. So there were 2 cardiologists that spoke, and I learned that there's 4 clinics in the United States, so just the United States, that are cardiovascular and rheumatology. I think it was called cardio-rheum or something like that. I'll tune in more and tell you more about it, but it was fascinating. Big piece is that colchicine, I'm probably saying that wrong.
Nope, it's right. I'm on colchicine.
Okay, is now been FDA approved as of June of 2023. So yes, just a couple months ago, for cardiovascular indications.
Can I put a story in?
Yes.
Okay, I have a story. So, March 2020, I was one of the first people to get COVID, okay? And it was so early, and everybody thought that it was a lung disease, and it attacked my heart. And this time there was no data on the heart, and nobody could figure it out why my heart was going crazy. And they diagnosed me with pericarditis, and they're like, you need to get on colchicine to try to get your
Yes.
inflammation of your heart down. I'm like, I'm on it twice a day already. And they're
Yes.
like, what? So long story short, after COVID and all of these heart instances started, they started really looking into
Yes,
colchicine
they
for
did.
heart. And I've said to this day, oh my gosh, they need to indicate it for inflammation of the heart because
Yes.
I believe it saved my life. I ended up in the hospital with COVID because of heart inflammation, and
Yeah.
I believe to this day, if I was not already on colchicine for my diseases twice a day, I don't know what would happen.
It's amazing.
Holy moly!
Yes.
The aha moments. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Didn't
no,
mean
that's
to do
okay.
it.
No, hey, that's what these are all about. Mind-blowing for me because I wasn't aware of some of this. And by the way, I sat next to my rheumatologist during the session.
That
and
is so cool.
She also went in real time onto her Epic phone, like into the app, and put me on colchicine. So in real time.
Wait a minute. Is this breaking news? Is this breaking news at ACR 23?
It is. So at least for me, for sure.
Wow.
And she also is super upset that she didn't get me to a cardiologist sooner before I started having major symptoms. And by the way, I'm still recovering. I had heart catheterization a week ago and stenting done, all due to inflammation in my body for 40 years.
Yeah.
So anyways, the second session, again, I'm going to do more information
Is the
on
second
this.
one on cardio?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It was, I just lost my page, but it was, oh my God, I just lost my page.
While she's finding her page, let me give you a little statistic. So just from being diagnosed with one of our diseases, we have 20% higher risk for heart disease. And that, of course, is even scarier if it
30.
already... Oh, it's 30 now?
30.
Another breaking news at ACR. Last I knew a few years ago, it was 20. Okay, so it's really important for all of us, if you're diagnosed, to understand the comorbidities that can happen if we have uncontrolled disease with the inflammation. So go take it away, Deb. You've got two
Yes.
more minutes.
Okay, the last session that I went to at noon today was cardiovascular rheumatology, lessons learned from targeting inflammation to modulate, control cardiovascular risk. So again, some overlap, but these were all rheumatologists speaking in this session. And I also have a segment that I added to my phone that I'm going to put into the Go With Us session that is a rheumatologist who is older than we are, and she is changing her practice after going to the 9 a.m. session, and she tells why, and it's mostly colchicine and how much it's super effective and low cost.
Unbelievable.
So-
All right. So new therapy, that old therapy repurposing
Yes.
for new reasons, and a therapy that I said, you remember, I
Yes.
said colchicine saved my life when I had
I
COVID. I knew it, and now the stuff. So some good things came out of COVID. In essence,
yes.
of repurposing these. That was an impromptu update. We wanted to make sure we gave you at least another one while we were at the conference hall, so you could just get an idea of what it's like here. Even though we're just in a little corner, this is actually not very crazy looking in the back. There's millions of people here, it seems like. So, in saying that, we're going to be wrapping it up today. But again, don't feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much more I want to learn, because we understand there's more we want to learn too. We've got it online.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Also, Eileen, she hasn't been part of our updates to her videos because she can't upload her videos. Something technical is happening, so
Right.
stay tuned. She has a ton
Yes.
to share with you guys, and it's coming after she gets home and has some time to figure out. She's got all the information,
Yep.
and she's actually right over there with Layla.
Oh my goodness.
Our whole team is
And
right
there
here.
is the rest of the team. Layla, Eileen, we're doing our video. So there we go. They're waving out in the background. So what a great way to close our update today. All right, more coming from ACR 2023.